Hi, this is Vicki from Learning Home Volunteers, and welcome back to our Shapes Learning session. This week, I'm really excited about the activities on our last week. I think we're going to repeat some things in a different way that are going to help your learners see squares or the different shapes in a different way through art. Artists say that as part of their process, they a lot of times make the same things over and over again, but with different materials or with a different brush or some other change. And they said that every time they make something, they actually see those materials or the world differently. So the first two activities in this week are exploring the use of shape in art. One is going to be on squares, and the other exercise is for triangles and rectangles. Finally, we started our journey in exploring shapes using a mirror box, and it showed us how shapes can change when reflected and create actually new shapes. So, in our last activity, we're going to come back to this mirroring effect, and we're going to ask first a child to mirror a pattern that's been developed with sticks and repeat it in a mirror fashion. And the second is we're going to experience the magic of symmetry painting, which is super fun. So let's get started. This is activity number 9. Using a single color or shape in an art piece actually causes the viewer to focus on a single perspective. And many famous artists use this technique in their work. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the first painting, which is done by Paul Glee. He was a Swiss artist that produced work during the Expressionism period. And you notice he uses a single shape, a square, to help us focus on color in his painting. We see the squares being repeated over and over again, but the thing that changes is the color. The second piece is an example by Carl Wiener. He features squares, his shape, and a single color for those squares. And so what pops out for us is the lines that separate that. Our last example here is done by James Ward, and he combines squares on squares, all on white, making us carefully examine the combinations of the squares, which all kind of sit out differently because of the big red ones that are sitting in the middle. So we thought it would be fun for your learner to explore shapes. And in bag number 9, you're going to find lots of colors and sizes of squares that they can use individually or in combination. We're excited to see what your learners are actually can create. And who knows, maybe this will be the inspiration for their work in the future, and we'll see your child's work hung in a museum someday. In the meantime, you can put them on the refrigerator or a wall for you guys to enjoy. This is activity number 10, and this is triangles and rectangle art. It's another opportunity to explore shapes. I think the fun thing about rectangles and triangles is that you can make a triangle by cutting a rectangle at any time. So in this activity, we provided mini rectangles and encourage you to make a bunch of triangles by cutting and, of course, gluing. Here are some fun examples of things that you can do with rectangles and lines. Stunning, huh? Our next activity, activity number 11, we are going to explore making symmetrical patterns using sticks. And to set up this activity, you want to put a piece of string on the floor or a table. In the picture here, it's actually yellow. And then set up a stick pattern on one side. And then on the other side, leave sticks for the child to be able to make the pattern on the left. This is activity number 12. This is our last activity in the exploration of shapes, and it's called symmetry painting. We have provided a big piece of newsprint paper. You want to fold it in half and then have the child only paint on one side. And then have them fold it over and pat it down so that the paint actually transfers to the other side. and then open it. Amazing that we got out of that from the original piece that she did. But you can see these also are symmetry paintings. Look at it. Here's some more amazing results. Well, we hope you enjoyed exploring shapes with your little ones and that they'll enjoy doing this, some of these new techniques that they've learned with art in the future.